attention. And since I wasn't paying attention, and I thought the parking garage was already, like the door was already up or whatever, walking down, had my head down, bam, smacked the top of my head on our parking garage, like the door. Clean, cold cock me. Just flat out smashed the top of my head. And ever since then, like my neck, my shoulders, all of that has been super sore. Super, super sore. Sucks for me. But oh well. Right. What state? I'm in Washington State. Yeah. And for people like, oh, like, the reason why it happened, I hit my head on stuff like a lot. I'm actually used to hitting my head on stuff. But that's the plight of being tall. You hit your head on stuff all the time. Oh yeah, Ty. I mean, I'm hoping, it's sore. It's sore. My wife is like, yeah, take Tylenol. Hey there, Courtney. The SAVE Act is ass. It is horrible. How tall am I? 6'3.5". 5 foot. My wife is 5 foot. Like I'm 6'3.5". My wife is 5 foot. Funniest thing. American Advocate, why am I against Rand Paul? I'm not. No, Ron Paul. I'm not against Ron Paul. I'm just against you supporting Ron Paul. That's it. I mean, like, if I'm going to be honest, just against you supporting Ron Paul. Anyway, we're going to go ahead and kick this off, guys. If you are a Trump supporter or disagree with anything on the background, get in the box. We're only looking for some debates, and we're about to get active, and you know what that means.
You stepped in the box. Now you're in the ring. Ain't no hugs here.
Where?
Take your best swing. Mike Hot.
Wait, where?
This ain't a debate. This is a mind game. Facts type lies get left in chain.
I don't see her.
Word, you slapped out your name. This ain't TikTok T. This a war zone talk. No script, no filter, no safe walk. Scramble like a glitch.
Hey, W's in the chat. My niece is watching. Hey, let's go. You know I'm about to go crazy if my niece watching.
No cap, no shield. Better know yourself.
W's in the chat for my niece.
Step in, don't you wanna? Sparring with Santana. I don't care what
hey.
background. Facts only if not get clapped down. Whether you're left or right or you don't even vote. If your logic is weak, I'll sink your boat.
Hey.
You talk slick, but you ain't got source.
Nope.
Just vibes, that ain't power, that's force. I'm the test, the trap, the trip, the call.
Hey.
Step once, I'm snatching it all.
Boom.
Step in if you dare. Get hard like a punch in the air. Ain't no rules, no plan, no script.
It's going good, Vanessa. How are you?
Real quick. No cap, no shield.
How did you pin something? What did I pin? I don't know what I pinned.
Don't you wanna sparring with Santana? Step in if you dare. You get hard like a punch in the air. Ain't no rules, no plan, no script. One wrong move, get cooked real quick.
What's going on? Guys, tap the screen, share the live, send your daily heart mints, only one coin to boost the live. Push us out to the FYP. Can we knock out the daily gift goal a couple of times? Please and thank you.
This ain't a safe place. This is flame space. Step in, don't you wanna? Sparring with Santana.
Guys, welcome in. This is Sparring with Santana. One-on-one debates with Trump supporters or anyone that disagrees with anything on the background. I am Santana, and guys, get in the box. We're only looking for some debates. Only request up if you're a Trump supporter or disagree with anything on the background. We're only looking for some debates. If you're friendly, tap the screen, share the live, send your daily heart. It's only one coin. Let's see here. We're gonna get active. Curto, you can fuck off, bud. Like, you came up here earlier being weird, and I refuse. Hi, are you a Trump supporter or disagree with anything on the background?
No, not a Trump supporter. We did talk a couple of weeks ago. I jumped on wanting to talk to you about CISA and some of that stuff. Don't remember that combo, but
yeah, I clipped you, bub.
A little bit. You had maybe I had not made my point that I was trying to make there.
No. I said I clipped you, like literally. There's a video on my page about you.
Oh shit! Oh, okay, I got you.
Yeah, you got clipped.
Well, probably don't make me look good. I bet, but
no. That's it's all good. It's all good. Wait, do you disagree with anything? I mean, did you come to a debate, or were you trying to
defund with your defund the military? So I guess I was going to ask a clarifying question to know whether or not it was going to be a debate on that. Because, for example, with like defund the police, which I think is kind of a terrible slogan because that really speaks more to like
same idea,
alignment, reassignment, restructuring. So
yeah,
more same idea with that.
Yeah.
Okay, I heard. No worries. That was pretty much it. Because I heard you the other day, and I couldn't tell if you were talking about literally cutting our entire defense spending in half by 50% overall.
Oh no. Well, I mean, like I made the point that we could do that, but no, like just more reallocation and
Yeah, I would agree with less spending on weapons assets and shit like that. I just I feel like the intelligence department, which has been not listened to in the last year, I wouldn't want anything like that to take a hit.
Yeah, no, absolutely not. All right, well, I'm gonna drop you down. I appreciate it.
No, never mind.
Yep. All right. Guys, only request up if you're a Trump supporter or disagree with anything on the background. We're only looking for some debates. Only request up if you're a Trump supporter or disagree with anything on the background. We're only looking for some debates. If you're a Trump supporter, tap the screen, share the live, send your daily heart means only one coin. Hi, are you a Trump supporter or disagree with any? Are you?
Yeah, I think so. But I would prefer you clarify it just so I can make sure.
Hold on.
DEI,
Whoa.
My bad.
You don't just walk up into someone's house and put your feet up on the couch and like,
hey, ain't this professional debates? Don't you want to get to debates, man?
No, I have the listen, this is a real classy joint around here. We got velvet on the wall and shit. None of that grass stuff that you see in Atlanta.
Oh,
like it's classy. So just to verify, are you a Trump supporter or disagree with something on the background?
Yes. I disagree with DEI everything, but I'm not sure if I disagree with that. I'm asking if you can clarify. When you say DEI, are you trying to paint that in the light that the right tries to paint that in, where DEI would be like preferred minorities over, say, like white cis males? Or are you just referring to diversity, equity, and inclusion, or whatever? I forgot what it is.
Yeah,
it's wrong there.
It's kind of a whole gotcha. It refers to the actual premise of diversity, equity, inclusion, and accessibility, which is much more important.
Okay, so is your argument that in a workspace or like anywhere, I guess, since your argument's DEI everything, that like just the general idea and your stance on DEI, or
wait, give me wait, like it feels like we're moving into giving away my argument, and I don't like to do that. Like, give me your pushback, and I'll let you know if there's a debate there or not.
Yeah. So in terms of my pushback, if I'm reading your argument correctly, or at least I'm taking your argument correctly, it seems that like when you're saying DEI everything, I would say that would call for a higher employment rate of minorities that are less capable of certain jobs, and like that's just if what I'm taking it as is correct, right? Because I don't know if you're trying to say just diversity, equity, and inclusion in a workspace, because if your argument is that should exist in normal workspaces, and that like with no priority over one another, just that like to give minorities the rightful opportunity to get into a workspace with the same type of chance that, say, cis white male has. Like I have no disagreement with that. So if that's your argument, I don't disagree. But if your argument is that you want to prioritize minorities in hiring over like just the qualified people, I disagree.
Yeah. So like, I'm black as fuck, right? I don't know if you noticed that, but what I will say is I want to see black people win, right? But that's not what DEI is, and quote unquote DEI. That's not DEIA, and it's not even about minorities. Like it's a lot to it, but it doesn't necessarily sound like you have a debate, because most people who have an issue with quote unquote DEI.
I'm more so asking for clarification.
A strong argument on no. It sounds like you don't necessarily push back, because most people who have an issue with the quote unquote DEI. It's more so about the fact that
like your definition
holy
of DEI.
Holy smokes, Bubba, slow down for a second. Let me at least finish my sentence. The people that normally have an issue with it, it has an issue because they think that it's taking away from others and giving someone who is, not qualified something, and that's not what it is.
Yeah, I agree with your stance and Dean's stance. If your guys' stance is an accurate representation of DEIA.
Okay. All right. I'm gonna drop you down.
All right. Thank you.
All right. Appreciate it. Only request up if you're a Trump supporter or disagree with something on the background. We're only looking for some debates, guys. Only request up if you're a Trump supporter, disagree with anything on the background. We're only looking for some debates. If you're friendly, tap the screen, share the live, send your daily heart. Means only 1 coin. It'll boost the live. Hi, Matthew. Are you a Trump supporter? Disagree with anything on the background?
I'm a Trump supporter.
Okay. All right. Matthew, quick question before we go too far, because I haven't had an opportunity to do a proper introduction. Would you mind if I give you and everyone a proper introduction to who I am and what this is?
Please.
All right. Perfect. One moment.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the main event. Let's get ready to rumble!
Guys, welcome in, welcome in, welcome in. This is Sparring with Santana, one-on-one debates with Trump supporters or anyone that disagrees with anything on the background. I am Santana, guys. Only request up if you're a Trump supporter or disagree with anything. If you're friendly, tap the screen, share the live, send your daily heart. Me, it's only 1 coin. It'll boost the live, push us out to the FYP. I'm going to keep resetting the daily gift goal to these little 1-cent gift goals. That'll help boost the live as well. We have Matthew here. Matthew, you are a Trump supporter, and question for you, like I know for a fact it's time for a change in America, but what topic do you disagree with the most where you would actually like to start?
I'm not actually sure which out of those specific things I would disagree with in particular. I think there's certainly some that I would disagree with. That being said, I think my support for Trump is not inherently linked to any of those 5 things.
Cool. That's what's up. Can you pick one of the 5 things that you disagree with the most so we can start there?
Yeah. Let me see. What do you mean by DEI everything?
Yeah. All right. I'll lay out my argument. I think that as far as the country as a whole, we understand the need for providing equity, and not only equity, but getting the best possible people in places for position. And we have been ruled by a quote unquote good old boy system where a lot of people who have connections, who have leverage, who have been able to prosper due to, simple things like the color of their skin or the fact that they are a man, like basic things, have been able to amass power, wealth, all of these types of things and get ahead. And my premise is that we need to move away from that and move towards quote unquote DEI.
Okay, for sure. And you think that like this kind of DEI reformist policy would be like an effective way of achieving, like what exactly would be the end goal here?
For a better society as a whole.
Okay, and that better society, that's still the society that we exist in now. It would just be a better version of the status quo.
Sort of, but like it wouldn't be status quo if it was better than what we're doing. How about this?
Yeah.
Let's see. Do you know what DEI is?
I mean, I know the acronym is diversity, equity, and inclusion, but I know obviously it's larger than just those 3 words.
Right, but what do you think it is?
I would say broadly, and I definitely wouldn't say this definition is all-encompassing. But when I think of DEI, I would say I think of generally like some like programs or like social infrastructure that exists to help people who have been either like historically or currently marginalized groups get positions or opportunities that they otherwise wouldn't be able to have. Is that maybe somewhat fair?
A little bit, but not really. But okay, it's fine. I'm not gonna crucify you for that. Do you know what DEIA is?
Is the A for accessibility? I feel like
it is. Most people don't get that. Good job. Good job.
Okay.
Is there a difference between DEI and DEIA?
Well, I would assume DEIA has like the extra accessibility point being emphasized. So presumably that would be the difference.
Yeah. Yeah. So it's not the extra, like DEIA is the actual thing, right? DEI is just a racist dog whistle. So the quote unquote, that's why DEI is in parentheses, but it's, you know, kind of a gotcha. The overall premise is that DEIA is about merit, right? And people complain about, you know, like wanting to give someone something or blah, 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 blah. But the fact of the matter is if you engage in DEIA practices and policies, those are overwhelmingly beneficial to everyone. There's a great study that was completed by Forbes that talked about companies that actually engaged in DEIA practices. And not only were the companies that engage in DEIA practices more profitable and a better work environment, I'm sorry, they were a better work environment, but also more profitable than other companies that did not, because it actually created a work environment that was more challenging of others versus being, you know, a same school of thought, which mean that the companies were able to push and grow and do things more. So the biggest thing that I'm trying to get across is the premise of quote unquote DEI has been bastardized, and the term has just been used for racist dog whistle, where DEIA, the actual thing, is beneficial to everyone.
Sure. So yeah, so you're giving me this example of how these companies became more profitable as a result of DEIA, and then you're telling me essentially that DEI is like essentially like an abstraction of what DEIA is. And
yeah. Would you? Well, no.
Racist dog whistle.
Yeah. Would you like for me to tell you why I say DEIA? I mean, sorry, DEI is a racist dog whistle.
Yeah, for sure. That would be helpful.
Yeah, because it has an etymology. DEI is what they use now, but prior to DEI, they used the term CRT, critical race theory. Have you ever heard that?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. Prior to critical race theory, they actually used the word BLM, Black Lives Matter. Have you ever heard that one?
Yeah, yeah.
Before they used the term Black Lives Matter, they used the term thug. And before they used the term thug, they used the term boy. And before they used the term boy, they used the N-word. And so when I say that it's a racist dog whistle, it's just for one, people who don't understand what DEIA is, but two, it's a racist dog whistle used by people who want to call Black people the N-word, but they can't do it because they know that, you know, fuck around and find out. But that's why when people talk about quote unquote DEI candidates, Kamala Harris, that's a Black woman, DEI hires, they always put that quote unquote DEI towards Black people, and they try to pretend that DEIA is only about race when it's not.
And the beyond race part would be in regards to what exactly it would be, like just more systemic inequality rather than the racial aspect. Like what would be the other thing it's in relation to?
What do you mean, DEI?
Because you said it's about more than just race.
Oh, DEIA. DEIA is more. Yeah. Like again, so the biggest benefactors of DEIA tends to be white women, tends to be people with disabilities, and also tends to be veterans. Right, those people overwhelmingly benefit from DEIA. DEIA practices and policies can present itself in like multiple instances. Do you know what a blind resume is?
No, I mean, I might be able to infer, but go ahead and tell me.
Yeah, a blind resume is when all of the identifying factors are removed from a resume. So when people actually get the resume, they only see like the meat of the resume, the actual, like, these are the things, right? And so removing those identifying markers removes the possibility of bias. And that's what DEIA is about, removing those biases that everyone has, and allows the person that best fits the bill to actually get said opportunities, instead of being restricted of opportunity because they are a woman, because they are Black, because they are disabled, or anything like that.
Yeah, for sure. Can I ask a question, like in relation to just like kind of the solvency of that? So I guess my question would be that, like, if we're to agree that in the status quo, there is this racial discrimination towards marginalized people, whether they be, you know, women, people of color, disabled folks, you know, like if that oppression or discrimination exists to such a degree that they're not being hired, then why would we think that once they are hired because of these DEIA policies, why would they not be discriminated against once they're in the workplace? Because presumably the people who hired them are the same people who share the work environment with them.
Yeah, I mean, that's why you institute those in different different ways, as far as like training, understanding, helping people break down those biases, because it's not just about quote unquote hiring, right? DEIA is not a hiring practice. It's literally addressing those overall biases. So it's not something that you can just say, oh, we did it and we're hiring more people that are marginalized. No, it's a complete overhaul of the system that strips away those biases.
Okay, sweet. So I see pretty clearly how it pertains to the hiring stuff. I think because the example you gave was these blind resumes. Can you give me an example about how it would apply to people who are already who already got the job, let's say?
So what do you mean already got the job, in the sense of how it would benefit the people working together? I'm a little, clarify the question for me.
Yeah, no problem. You said that, you know, DEIA is more than just improved hiring practices. It also applies to like larger practices that need to be overhauled in the workplace, et cetera. So you gave a good example of how it would apply to the hiring process. My question is, could you give me an example of how it would affect the workplace and better the workplace for these people who are benefiting from the hiring practice?
Yeah, again, it really relies on certain people understanding the needs and the actual differences of people. One thing that we can take a look at is like women in the workplace, and even, you know, there's this huge push to want to actually have women have babies, right? But the workplace doesn't always have things that are conducive for women to have children. And so being able to actually educate people, remove biases, it allows women to actually engage in a successful work environment where they can actually go into different fields of leadership. They can progress. It breaks down the stigmatism that, not stigmatism, holy shit, the stigma of like, oh, we can't hire a woman because if we hire a woman, you know, she's going to go out on maternity leave when she has a baby, or she's going to be an emotional leader. Like, addresses those things. And again, it allows the best candidate to actually step up without having to worry about being disenfranchised because of those factors that they, you know, necessarily can't control.
Okay, and the mechanism by which this would happen is that this some sort of like federal policy, or are you just like kind of imagining a change in workplace norms? Like what would this actually look like?
Yeah, no, I mean, like if we actually talk about instituting this, then of course it would be something that would have to be mandated. Now the catch-22 is there's no actual mandate for DEIA, right? There's no bill, legislation, there's nothing that actually enforces it, right? But if this was something that we're going to do, then we have to make it enforceable. And so I think like mandated workplace trainings, like there's already different workplace trainings. Like, how many times have you taken a workplace training where it's like phishing or like cybersecurity or like workplace violence, things like that? But actually making sure that it's a part of the culture of the workplace is how you make sure that like it's something that's effective, and it's not like lip service. That's a big issue with a lot of companies. A lot of companies say, oh, we're going to do this, but then when it's conducive for them, they turn tail. Just great example is Walmart. You know what happened with Walmart, right? I mean, not Walmart. Holy shit. Target, not Walmart. Target.
No, I don't know what happened with Target.
Yeah, so Target went through this entire massive DEIA initiative, right? After you know, George Floyd was murdered, they wanted to show that they aligned with the people, and they did this and da 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 da. And as soon as Donald Trump was elected, and back in November of 2024, Target abandoned their DEIA initiatives, which is fucking wild because there were multiple Black-owned businesses, woman-owned businesses, like a lot of these businesses who didn't get like an opportunity to actually, you know, get a foothold in Target, but they were now able to get into Target, these smaller businesses that were not recognizable. And there were businesses that were overwhelmingly popular and successful. My favorite coffee is Black and Bold coffee, right? Black and Bold coffee was put in Target, and they were selling their coffee in, you know, in the stores and making bank. I mean, like people loved it. But Target said that we're getting rid of our DEI policies and everything. And so they kicked all of these businesses out, even though the businesses were profitable. to appease Donald Trump, right? So after that happened, people stopped fucking with Target. Myself, I don't fuck with Target. I haven't been to Target ever since then. And not only have I not been to Target, but Target lost billions of dollars because people decided they were going to boycott Target because they just completely abandoned who they said they were and what they stood for, which was the progression of people, right? Now, the catch-22 with that is that Target not only lost the business, but again, my favorite coffee, Black and Bold Coffee, was actually picked up by Costco. Costco gave them an actual an agreement where they can start selling it in certain locations to do a tester to see if they were actually something that people wanted, and they did awesome. They've been expanding their reach throughout Costco. Their companies continue to grow. But the point that I'm getting to is, if just because you have a company that's willing to stand up and say, you know what, we believe in the progression of people, we believe in these things that we're talking about, if it's not enforced somehow through legislation, then just when it becomes conducive for them to just say, you know what, we got a fascist, so I'm backing off of it. Like, they're gonna roll that back, and then you see things like the Trump administration going after quote unquote DEI, and then it overwhelmingly targeting like Black women. Last year, 400,000 Black women lost their jobs because of the quote unquote cancellation of DEI practices. But really what it was is that people targeted Black women because Donald Trump used that as a racist dog whistle for Black people.
Okay, for sure. Okay, got it. So from what I'm understanding, you're giving this example of how when Trump came into office, incentives changed for these corporations, and as a result, they kind of changed their values in accordance with the new regime, so to speak, right? So I guess, like, I think so far in this conversation, I've been asking you questions for clarification, which I think has been really helpful. But I think this might be a good segue into like maybe a positive reason I can give for my support for Trump. Would that be okay?
Sure. Can I say a couple of thank yous really quick?
Absolutely.
All right, 1 second here. Guys, let me jump over here just to make sure. All right, guys, really quick. W's in the chat for Ron. What up, Ron? Ron sent a $1.99 super donation. Say the spices. Yeah, I picked it up from the PO box today, Ron. We got the spices. I'll let you know. Listen, I'm excited. W's in the chat for Ron. Thank you for the donation, and thank you for the spices. W's in the chat for Bear. What up, Bear? Bear sent a $15 donation saying, so relieved to see you back. I swear to goodness, I was having Santana withdrawals. My therapist said, that's not a thing. It's not. Love you, love your voice is based in critical thought and knowledge. Love and peace, Bear. Absolutely. W's in the chat for Bear. W's in the chat for Mike. What up, Mike, who sent a $2 donation, said, please tell this clown we just want a level playing field. These fresh white men can't compete even with it. Yeah, listen, like everybody just wants an opportunity to, you know, do the thing. And W's in the chat for Caroline. Caroline sent a $10 donation saying, hello again, Santana. Genuine question because I'm confused. Is DEIA also responsible for to include I think you mean includes disabled people? If so, does it mean basically giving everyone the same chance? Yeah, well, I think we just went through it. It's not about giving everyone the same chance. It's about removing those biases that actually restrict people from having those opportunities. But W's in the chat for Caroline. Guys, if anyone else would like to support the live, you can do so. Cash App, PayPal, Venmo, pay links in the link tree in the bio. Santana speaks for you. If you're over on YouTube, you can send a super chat. I will read that out, guys. Keep tapping the screen, share the live. Let's get the likes up, please, please, please. Let's get the likes up to 150,000 likes. And also, if you are a Trump supporter, disagree with anything on the background, get in the box. We're only looking for some debates. All right, Matthew, sorry about that. Floor is yours.
No, yeah, you're all good. Okay, for sure. So I think kind of what all of these examples you've given go to show is that, like, essentially these kind of corporate incentives are always going to take precedence over like what would actually be beneficial to these people you're describing. Like specifically, you give me this example about how with Target, they stopped, essentially furthering their DEIA initiative, and then Costco picked up one of their really successful products, that being this brand of coffee you enjoy. And I think basically what this goes to show is that, like, the reason Costco picked it up is presumably because, like you said, Target was losing billions. So Costco saw that as a financial opportunity. And as a result, they picked up the coffee.
Oh, that's not true.
To me, then, It's not true. You
No.
think it was Costco's like moral compass that caused them to do this?
Oh, well, like morality is subjective, and I don't think there's morals when it
Sure.
comes to like billionaires. But what I
guess
will
it's
say, the reason why,
ethical
well, the reason why I said that, yeah, maybe it was, but like they didn't know that they were going to be overall successful, because as soon as like this happened, I want to say this happened in January. Anyway, this happened before Target started to lose billions of dollars. Like this was right after it happened. Like it was really quick. So it wasn't something where they knew for a fact that it was going to be overall. Now I'm sure they looked at it and they saw like, hey, this is something that is, something that can definitely be profitable, and it's an opportunity, right? Because that's what business is, right? You see someone who loses out on an opportunity. I'll never forget the story about like Alicia Keys, how Alicia Keys actually, auditioned for multiple people, and like she kept getting turned down because she was like a singer with a guitar and all this other stuff. And then like she started playing the piano and like took off. But people see opportunities within business, and when they find opportunities, they jump on it. So I'm sure it was an opportunity for Costco, but Costco and their entire leadership have a history of trying to stand on the right side of history, whether it's like they increased their minimum wage for their employees. They picked up these different DEIA program, DEIA program, and they stood, opposing the Trump administration on multiple things. So like there's some of that, some of this, but it's not just because they knew that it was going to be profitable.
Okay, I hear what you're saying. I think my larger point maybe still stands. Maybe I haven't articulated it well.
No, go ahead. I just want to make sure I gave you that context.
No, I appreciate that. That changes the way I'm looking at things just a little bit. But yeah, so essentially, I think like regardless, because I'm willing to say, like for the sake of argument, let's say like, yeah, everything you said is true, which I believe for the record. So yeah, Costco picked this up because they picked it up prior, so it wasn't just profit driven. They have certain policies or ethical codes that they feel like they want to live up to, or like have their business aligned with in some way. I think the larger point still stands though, which is that ultimately these businesses are only doing these things for the furtherance of either their public perception or their economic gain. And I think that it's easy to conflate something that like aligns with our individual political views in the sense that, yeah, like it seems to us like, oh yeah, what Costco did was super cool. And maybe it is, yeah, for sure. But I also think that we have to understand that if it wasn't cool for them, if it wasn't cool for their shareholders, if the incentive had been large enough to conform with Trump, I think more likely than not, they probably would have conformed, and they probably would have taken the coffee off the shelves in an analogous sense to how Target did.
Yeah, I completely disagree. And the reason why I say that is because like maybe other businesses would acquiesce. But again, like I said, Costco has a history of pushing back specifically on the Trump regime, even more so like with the tariffs. Target was the first company to come out and sue Donald Trump over the tariffs. Right. When there was some debate whether or not the Supreme Court was going to allow the tariffs to stand, Costco got ahead of it and actually said, oh, no, we're suing them. And so like, I'm not going to sit here and say, oh, there's no business acumen behind it, because that would be foolish, right? It's business. But what I will say is that like Target, their shareholders started to like literally their board sued them after they got rid of the DEIA programs because they were losing so much money. And they claimed that this decision was made unilaterally without the consent of the board, and they wanted it back. And even though they were losing billions of dollars and all of this other stuff was happening, like, again, people continue to actually boycott Target. I haven't been to a Target in over a year, but people continue to boycott, and the board is suing Target as a whole. They still haven't tried to revamp any of their DEIA initiatives, at least to my knowledge. Let me actually double check that before I say that. The last I checked, they hadn't done anything to reestablish their DEIA program. So with that being said, they're willing to continue to lose money to like massive tunes in order to be able to support Donald Trump. And we've seen this in other places as well. Starbucks, right? Starbucks lost billions of dollars to the tune of firing their CEO. McDonald's, the same thing, like because these companies supported Israel, and like people on the left was like, nah, fuck that. Listen, people on the left hated Israel, Israel, not Jewish people, but the actual state Israel before it was cool. and started boycotting these places, and they lost so much money, but yet they stood behind this to curry favor with the Trump administration or Israel.
Yeah. So like taking that in mind, would you say that then like Costco is on net acting ethically?
Explain it to me.
Well, like I don't know, like maybe we can take it that like at least under your worldview that like this is probably a good thing that they like held to whatever their corporate or real values are, in the sense that, you know, they continued to push back against the Trump administration. But would you say that on net, you know, just given the corporate entity that Costco is, I mean, they're like a general store, like what they're beyond groceries, right? I don't have Costco's near me, but
oh, Costco is like a mega warehouse. You get everything in bulk.
Okay.
As a matter of fact, quick commercial break. I got these Fit Crunches. These are like protein bars. Got them from Costco. You get a whole big ass box for like $13. It's like 50 of these things. I don't know if it's 50, but it's a lot. But no, it's like a bulk, not supply store, but you can get like stuff in bulk. It's like, have you ever heard of Sam's Club?
like
You have a
I've
Sam's
heard
Club?
of it. Again, there's not one near me.
Oh.
No.
Yeah.
We have Target
So-
though. Target's around.
Yeah, no, Costco is like an actual bulk place where you can get not only get stuff in bulk, but like you can get deals. Like you can go in there and get like big bottles, you know, of alcohol as well for like massive deals. But that's what Target is. I'm not Target, but
Okay.
Costco.
Costco, yeah. Okay, got it. I heard. I'll look into it. I'll see if there's one near me. But regardless, like, so my question still stands. Though, do you think that on net Costco, as this mega warehouse corporation, given the, you know, presumably good things they've done under your worldview in opposition to the Trump administration, would you say on net they're a good corporation?
I don't know. I can't say good or bad because, again, like I said earlier, more is a subjective. I will say that they're good enough to have my support. They're good enough for me to patron them. Like I will spend my money there if I feel like that they're doing something that I find to be like unethical or personally that doesn't align with the things that I rock with. Then I'm willing to say like I don't do it. But overall, like saying that they're good or bad, like I'll say they have a good track record of the way that they treat their people and also with trying to stand on the right side of history. But like, I think capitalism is, you know, not a good thing overall, even though I engage in capitalism. So like, it's kind of hard.
Do you think capitalism is sustainable, like regardless of who's in power? Like, do you think that if we had a Democrat in power, or are you a Democrat?
I'm a leftist.
A leftist. Okay. Do you support members of the Democratic Party? Like,
yeah,
not really.
I vote for them because, like, I believe in harm reduction. I still engage in the electoral politics, and so I think that like the Democratic Party as a whole is weak and incompetent and too used to like the status quo. But there are a few people within the actual Democratic Party that gives me a hope. And more than anything, I vote for harm reduction. And so, like, if I do put my support behind someone, it's because I think they're at least close enough to what I believe in versus like, you know, being further away.
Okay, sweet. Yeah, I think this will be a good point of disagreement. So you said that there are certain people in the party who, while you might not agree as a whole with the party, there are certain people who are at least closer to your values such that you're comfortable voting for them. Can you just give me like some examples of who those people would be for you in the Democratic Party?
Yeah, Bernie Sanders, AOC, Zoran Mandani,
Okay,
Jasmine
for sure.
Crockett to an extent. Yeah.
Jasmine Crockett. Okay.
Mhm.
Yeah, I've only recently heard about Jasmine Crockett, and in regards to obviously like midterms and all that, I don't know as much about her, but I can speak at least to AOC and Zoran and give you some reasons why I think that why frankly I'm very much against them.
Okay.
Do you know that AOC was in support of funding the Iron Dome?
Okay.
Is that, you think that's like negligible though? It's still, you know, you're fine to vote for her. You think that she's a candidate worthy of your support despite that?
Yep.
Okay.
Would you like to know why?
Mamdani, sure. Yeah, sure. Go ahead.
Yeah, so the thing that I understand about electoral politics is the way that they play the game. I hate when politicians play politics. I understand it. A lot of times when people have to or vote for, you know, pieces of legislation, it's normally because they pack different bills in with a bunch of different shit. right? So I think there's a huge difference between being someone who will vote for something in order to get something else versus someone advocating for like said thing. So like if you actually vote for a bill, sure.
Yeah. So like if it's not enough that like they're voting in favor of something like that, like how do you feel that like Zoran Mamdani said that like he thinks that the state of Israel has like a right to exist?
Okay.
That's also fine. Like I guess same question for AOC. You still think then he's like a candidate worthy of your support?
Yeah, I mean, like, so the difference between me and other leftists, and you know, fuck it, I'll just say it because he's not watching my stream, but like Hassan Piker, right? Hassan will say, I'm not going to support someone because of this specific, like, yeah, I get it. And I'm not, you know, I'm not saying they're wrong, but again, I look at the world and through a different lens because I am a black man in America. And I understand that at least until we no longer have this political system, then it's advantageous to engage in this political system in order to try to get what we can get from it. But I think this political system is absolutely dog shit and we need to like change it. But like sitting here saying that they're willing to pay lip service or, you know, play the game, that's fine, whatever. Like, I don't care. Like politicians, I don't trust politicians as a whole. And so I take the things that they say with a grain of salt. I put actual emphasis in the things that they actually do.
Sure. Okay, so I think we're going to agree insofar as the current political system is shit, as you said. I think where we disagree, though, is that it sounds like you think that reform is an effective strategy to essentially revise the system as it exists. Is that kind of like a fair characterization of what you're saying now? Because you said we'll make the best of the system. I took that to mean reform.
Oh, no. I think we should burn this bitch down. But until we're properly prepared to burn this bitch down, I'm not advocating for burning it down. Like I've had this debate with like accelerationists, and I'm not against acceleration. I just like the problem that I have is people who advocate for acceleration don't have a plan. And so if you got a plan, I can rock with it. But like if there's no plan, then you're just harming people just to harm people. And so that's my line.
Yeah. I think there are a lot of good plans out there. I would maybe point to like revolutionary student organizations, specifically in South America. That being said, that's not what I'm here to talk about in particular. I more just so think that this idea that, you know, it's just a matter of time, or maybe not that it's a matter of time, rather that we need to wait until the right time. Like, what would this right time look like to you to like burn the system down, like you said? Oh,
I didn't say shit about a right time. If your time is up, my time is now. No, I'm saying that like no one has an actual plan. Like that's the problem. If the right people come to me today and say, here's the plan, like, fuck it, let's do it. Like, so there's like, time is not the thing. Like I've been over this shit for as long as I became aware. Right. So like, there's no, oh, we were waiting for the right time. It's just like, when it happens, it happens.
Sure. Do you think a world in which we attempted some of these plans, like let's say it's like a super ineffective version of the plan, it doesn't work. Do you think a world in which we attempt the plan is like a more preferable world, and where we attempt it and it fails rather? Do you think that's a more preferable world than like the status quo?
I don't know if it's more preferable, but I would be willing to engage in it. Like, I mean, for me, I'm a very simple person in the sense of like, I'm willing to accept just about anything if you can provide facts, information, and like actual data to support the things. And so if you can actually support the thing and back it by logic, then I'm willing to actually engage in it. I won't say that it's preferable, but I'm saying that like I can fuck with it.
Okay, sure. Well, I mean, you say that you're valuing logic here, so maybe I'll get a little more into the nitty gritty. I would say like under my worldview.
But you still haven't actually told me why you support Trump. Are you an accelerationist? Because I feel like that's where you're going.
So I definitely wouldn't call myself an accelerationist, but I'm not an accelerationist. I'm maybe adjacent though. I would say my version of Trump is more like that than some of the people definitely have on
Stop fucking lying.
Go ahead, you got it.
Okay, yeah, for sure. So like on that logic point, I would say that like under my worldview, all change exists, change politically. This is in respect to like social or societal ontology. is trichotomy. So change is either via reform, so that would be working within the system to like better it. The other thing would be revolution, right, which is like a means of overcoming the system. And then I think the third method of change is mimicry and mockery, which is essentially where you exacerbate the issues with the system and you take them to their point of obvious vacuity. And
that's why you support Trump. That you're a fucking accelerationist. Like, you made it sound pretty. You made it sound pretty. Listen, you made it sound pretty, but I know. Listen, you can speak plain to me. I get it. Like, but again, without an actual plan, I can't get behind it. Like, that's the problem. If you can lay out the problem that I have is I genuinely care about people, right? And I understand the harm that's going to cause a lot of people, especially people who are currently disenfranchised. Right. We just had this whole conversation about DEIA. And the reason why I make sure that I talk about the A is because understanding that like the revolution will impact overwhelmingly not only the marginalized people, but like, people with disabilities as well, like overwhelmingly. And I understand what it would take. But until someone has something of a sound plan, I can't do it. So like that's where I'm at.
I mean, I'm certainly not for revolution. Again, I think revolution gets co-opted. Like if you want an example, I mean, literally look at like Che Guevara T-shirts or like mass-produced consumer slop.
Yeah, I get what you're saying, but the
hippies are more.
But what you're saying is like death by 1,000 cuts, right? And the reason why I say that because if you look at the current political system. Yeah, like you look at the current political system. So one of my favorite creators, one of my friends on here, Solid, he gave this great analogy. You like wrestling?
Like WWE? Or
yeah, you ever used to watch WWE?
No, I can't say I have.
Okay, you're not gonna get the analogy. Anyway, there's a role that the Republicans and the Democrats play, and the Democrats seem to play the role of like the good guys, right? And the Republicans play the role of the bad guys, and the Republicans are always doing bad shit. They're fucking things up. And then the Democrats are like, hey, give me more money, support my campaign. If I'll be able to stop them. We'll be able to keep them from doing the bad shit. And so then like, you put your support behind them, you give them a little bit of power, and then they like John Fetterman the shit up, right? And they do it to the point of like, oh, the Republicans, after Democrats have power, the Republicans take power back. And it continues to like go back and forth. And so for me, that's like death by 1,000 cuts. While, yeah, I think we will get to a point that you're speaking of. I don't think that with the current like structure of the two-party system, it allows it to go to like the furthest extent of what you're saying to where people just finally say, fuck this shit, I'm out. Like, it's always going to be just enough to like, here's an Affordable Care Act. Right. Here's a little something to like help you to pull them back off the edge. So.
Yeah. I mean, I think that's kind of what I'm saying, that like in the status quo, it is death by 1,000 cuts. But I'm saying that we should like get a machete and start slashing. Like, I think that. Do you understand what I'm saying?
And
like,
that's why I said you're an accelerationist. That's why I said, yeah. But so you said that like, what Donald Trump is doing is not becoming an accelerationist, and you can take a look at this because of the current political system. Overwhelmingly, the Democrats have been mopping the Republicans as far as the elections, like overwhelmingly, like belts the ass to the Republicans, right? The only way that it could actually do that is if Trump tried to rig the midterm elections or tried to like interfere or not have it. Then there's something. But as long as you give the people the ability to vote and then they can snatch a little bit of hope back, it's just going to keep ping-ponging back and forth.
Well, yeah, like you're saying this and I'm like, I'm so with you. But then the conclusion is like, I support AOC and I support Zoran Mamdani. Yeah. Am I missing something? I don't understand. Like, I get the things you're saying sound good. I'm like, yeah, it's this ping pong game analogy. I like all of that. But then your conclusion is like, I support AOC who votes to uphold the Iron Dome. Like, I just don't understand how you're getting from point A, which is like a really good material analysis of the system, to point B, which is like your support for these candidates. And I know you say you're a leftist and you're not, by no means do I think you're a DNC shill or anything like that. But
I do like that DNC monies. No, my whole thing is, again, it's rooted in the fact that I'm black as fuck, right? And I truly mean that, right? While you and I align on a lot of things we're saying, the difference between you and I, and I'm like, is that you in your profile picture?
Yeah, you got me.
Okay. So the difference between you and I is, you're a white man, I'm a black man. And even in that sense of revolution, even though you're saying you're not advocating for revolution, like white men are going to be the ones that have the most protection from harm. Not saying that they won't be harmed, but they'll be the furthest one from harm, where I understand that, like, as a black man in America, like, I'm not special, I'm just next. The greatest example I have is I was on another live last night, and we were talking about like the amount of increased anti-Semitism and like people who are just overwhelmingly targeting Jewish people, not people who support, Israel or what's happening and all this other stuff, but like just Jewish people. And we were talking about like 9/11, right? And how after 9/11, everybody was like super patriotic and everybody was wrapping themselves in American flags and all this other shit. And the one point that I didn't get to talk about, but like is something that I really notice, is black people right after 9/11, we got a little bit of a break, because that was the first time in this country history that they went on our necks the entire time, right? Because they were looking for the quote unquote brown people, right? That was the only time in American history where black people weren't the ones that were overwhelmingly targeted. And you know what happened? Like a couple of years later, right back at it, right? So I understand that just because I think that there's a lot of issues, there's a lot of flaws. Harming others is not something that I'm willing to do, and also harming others is something that is going to eventually come back to like me, and I just can't get with that.
Yeah, so I think a few points here. I think that what you say really, like, a few years later, we were right back at it. Like, to me, this is so clearly just a product of the larger superstructure. Like, it seems to me like you're exactly right that we were right back at it, and like the attention came back to just, another marginalized group. But to me, it seems then that the only way to resolve for that would be to get rid of the system that picks
or get rid of
years.
Get rid of white supremacy.
Yeah, I would say that's pretty entwined with the system, though.
Yeah, I mean,
it's hard to have one without the other. Maybe
like white supremacy, race, capitalism, all of it is connected. Like, I mean, the reason why, sure. And so, like, I mean, you target white supremacy, and you can start addressing a lot of shit, right? I mean, you target that, you can fix a lot. That's why I got like right here in white privilege. Like, I'm not saying I hate white people. I got white friends. But like my whole point is, if you understand the actual system and what upholds the system, it's whiteness, it's white supremacy. Like white supremacy, to uphold whiteness and white supremacy, it will do any and everything to destroy any and everyone. And it goes hand in hand with capitalism. That's why capitalism is like a self-fulfilling greed process.
For sure. No, I think it's a cycle completely. I think that capitalism and white supremacy are two sides of the same coin, if not the same side of the same coin. But I think then the solution is not like we need to reform the system insofar as we're going to solve back for some white supremacy or we're going to solve back for class disparity. I think it's that we need to get a new coin, so to speak.
Okay. So what's the plan?
The plan, and I think here's the thing. I think that there's this tendency that I see, especially, I think there's this tendency to hyper focus on a plan, on something tangible, on a piece of policy. But I think the issue with that is just, it's another form of reform. I think that the way we create a new system, and again, see the trichotomy, this is kind of key to the way I'm thinking about all of this, is it changes, again, it's a trichotomy. You have reform and you have revolution, and they get co-opted. So what's left? It's mimicry and mockery. Like, we have to accelerate the system to its natural collapse. If we artificially, right, we overcome via revolution, that doesn't actually get us anywhere. The system will just reify itself. We need to accelerate the system to its point of collapse. That's my thesis, so to speak. You're good.
So your plan is to burn it all down and watch it burn?
Or let it burn down. I think revolution would be analogous to burning it down. I'm more so happy to watch it burn, or maybe pour lighter fluid would be the analogy. I'm not sure.
So what happens when like you burn it down and it burns everyone with it?
Could you give me a, like, maybe just, I know we're in the world of the analogy right now, but just a slightly more concrete.
Meshach, Shadrach, and Abednego. Have you ever heard that? Meshach, Shadrach, and Abednego?
No, I can't say I have.
You don't know your Bible book?
Mm-mm.
Yeah. No, like it's an analysis of throwing it in the furnace and your whole plan is, yes, while burning the system down can actually be, sitting back and watching it collapse. Yeah, it seems like you have a premise that it's going to rise so we're going to be able to rise this civilization like a phoenix from the ashes. But the thing is that the amount of people that will have to accept like burning everything down without any type of like, hey, after we actually burn it down, this is what we're going to do. Like, this is how, hey, I know you're going to be harmed, but this is what we're going to do to at least try to make sure that your harm isn't as bad, or at least make sure that once your harm is done, it's worth it. So like the whole point is like burning it down and hoping that enough people make it out of the fire is not a plan. That's my problem.
I mean, that plan, like the language used there was like, you need the people to, but I think that's like a mischaracterization of what I'm saying. I'm not saying we need the people. I'm saying let the people burn the system down. I mean, if you want to create like a technocracy and do all these terrible things, like I think insofar as we agree, and maybe we don't agree, that will lead to inevitable collapse, then I think that getting to that collapse as soon as possible is probably the best way of fixing things. And I think that insofar as we agree that the status quo is, like, to me, you basically are doing this analysis where you're saying like there is a world now and then there's a world post-collapse, and the world post-collapse is worse than the world now. But I think that the situation is such that it's like try or die, so to speak. It's like we need to do something because the world right now is so bad.
So again, I'm not saying you're wrong, but what I'm saying is like in order to, how are you going to get people to stop voting for hope?
I think that the system is already on. I think like the rise of fascism, the rise of totalitarianism, hyperinflation. I'm not worried about our chances of like taking us back from the brink. I think we're past the brink.
Oh, okay, cool. You think so? Good. Let me show you something really quick. I'm glad you said that. Let me
and I have to run in like 15 minutes, but
yeah, no worries.
Yeah, no problem.
Where is it? Hold on. Sorry. Oh, here it is. I took this screenshot because I was going to talk about, but I'm just going to put it on the screen. This is something that was super interesting to me. And so while you say that you think we're on the brink of collapse, I'm telling you that we're not even close to it, right? Because people keep voting for hope. And as long as people have hope, they will continue to vote for hope. 1 second here. Sorry. There we go. And put this.
Actually, yeah, go ahead.
All right. I'm going to put this on the screen here. It's already on YouTube and Twitch and Instagram. And boom, boom. And then turn this on. You see that?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So this is something that I wanted to talk about earlier, but I didn't get an opportunity to talk about. This is Texas. This is the primary. And in the 2000s, the actual turnout for Democratic votes in Texas in the 2000s averaged 978,000. In 2026, 2.3 million people voted Democrat in Texas. Texas, a state that hasn't had blue or Democratic leadership since 2002, overwhelmingly, massively voted for Democrats because of what Trump is doing. And so not only did they vote for Trump, they voted for James Tellerico. And James Tellerico says a lot of nice stuff. I'm hoping that he pans out. but I don't think that he's that revolutionary change. I don't think that he's even close enough to actually being someone that's gonna like push the limit or da 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 da. And so what they did is these people in Texas who were overwhelmingly impacted by the fascists voted for Democrats, and they're trying to bring us back from the brink. And so when I tell you, it's that back and forth dichotomy. And so you're going to have to convince people to give up this to get what you want. Because if people were actually giving up, 2.3 million people would not show up to vote.
I think you're too optimistic insofar as you're calling this a vote for hope. I mean, remember my position. I mean, I was telling you that I'm against AOC and Zoran. This is like votes for James Tallarico. I mean, I don't know in what world James Tallarico is taking a firm stance against U.S. hegemony. I don't know in what world James Tallarico is fighting like the larger superstructure that causes this.
That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is
character. Go ahead.
Wait, what I'm saying is that people still see another option, which the option is vote the good guys back in. You hoping that things are going to collapse because the bad guys are winning right now. I know you feel like you're going to push the bad guys over the edge, but people are sitting here saying, no, we'll vote the good guys back in. And so all we're doing now is
good
like,
guys are as good as you're saying.
Oh no, I don't think they're good. I'm telling you, this is the premise.
Yeah, I guess the problem with this premise then is that like it presupposes that if we keep voting for these good guys, the AOCs, the Zorans, the James Tallaricos, that we're going to pull ourselves back from the brink. But I think our issues are such that even if we went on for like the next 12 years and we had back to back James Tallaricos and AOCs in office, I don't think that we would have the meaningful change that maybe
you don't have to convince me. Like, again, like, I'm not saying that. You're not trying to convince me. I'm telling you, you have to convince those 2.3 million people that voted that. That's the point that I'm getting to. You don't have to convince me.
An acceleration.
But that's not what they're viewing. The entire point that you're hoping.
You don't need to know they're doing it.
Wait, but the entire point that there's like, again, the point of them, the point of being docile. The point of being, think about this. Think about how many people have said, I wish things went back to how they were before Trump. Think about how many people said, people who was like, well, if Trump runs for a third term, then we would just run Obama against him. Like, people are trying to get back to where they were. Yes, that's what I'm saying.
Who crippled South America?
I'm literally telling you
the same CIA.
Maddie, I don't think you are hearing me. I'm literally telling you, you don't have to convince me. You have to convince the people that will do it. I'm telling you, your plan is flawed because it's not enough.
Also accelerationist.
Okay, how?
They're doing now.
How? Explain to me how.
Well, because look at the candidates. Like, okay, Obama. Do you really think that Obama is going to take us back from the brink? I think that he's just another step in the brink. He's just the Democratic step on the stairway of fascist Democrat, fascist Democrat, fascist Democrat.
So then what is that? Death by a million paper cuts. That's what I'm saying. It's the slow crawl. It's literally a slow crawl.
Yeah, but we can speed it up by supporting Trump. Remember what the topic would be.
You can't, because they're gonna keep putting anti-Trump in, and then people. Yeah. And that goes back to the whole point. You don't have a plan. Hope is not a plan. You don't have a plan. If you give me a plan, I will fuck with you, but you don't have a plan. Your plan is not a plan.
But the only thing you'll take to be a plan is a new method of reform.
The only thing that I'll take to be a plan is a fucking plan. All you got to let me know is like, this is what we're going to do. This is how we're going to, like, again, the questions that I've had for you is like, how do we convince the other people to get to where we are as far as this conversation? And you're saying we don't have to convince them.
That's assuming I want revolution. That's assuming I need that. That's assuming we want.
No, you don't. You want cuts by a million. You want death by a million paper cuts. I'm telling you, it's a slow, drawn out process. What you're talking about. It's not this path of actually getting to where we need to be. It's people will continue to be docile as long as you give them comfort. People will choose comfort over anything else every day of the week.
The comfort they're choosing is furthering, like, whether or not they think it's comfort, that comfort is the oppression. It's essentially that comfort is what's taking us to collapse. Whether or not people continue to vote for hope, like you're saying, because they think it's a valid method of reform, doesn't change the fact that in reality, it's, again, like, see my staircase analogy, it's just taking us closer to the inevitable collapse. And also, regardless of whether or not you think that people will continue voting blue, it doesn't matter insofar as it's still a reason to support Trump, because at least, I mean, I don't know how you would disagree that Trump doesn't take us closer to that future. You're good.
Because Donald Trump is a wannabe dictator. He's not a dictator. That's how.
Yeah, better than like AOC.
Hear me when I say this.
Okay.
Donald Trump is a wannabe dictator. He is not a dictator. Donald Trump is a fascist. Absolutely. Absolutely. 100%. But Donald Trump is not Hitler. He may want to be Hitler. He may say, I wish that my generals treated me like Hitler's generals. He's not Hitler. He's not Genghis Khan. He's not those. And so he may be the catalyst. Excuse me. He may be the catalyst that will, inspire people or have people push back or all this other shit. But he's not the one that's going to push people over the edge. He's the one that's going to push people back to the other side. Like, that's why you see people who supported Donald Trump, who said they were MAGA, now vote like Texas. The people in Texas that voted for Donald Trump they voted for James Tellerico. Starr County, I talked about this today. Starr County, Donald Trump won Starr County by 54% in 2024. 95% of the votes that occurred in Starr County in this primary, 95% of those votes were Democratic votes. The thing is that these people aren't letting it happen. They're just switching to the other side because they just want comfort.
Okay, can I tell you what? Okay, here's what I'm going to say. Would you agree that there's some sort of double bind here where either people vote Democrat or people vote Trump, which then just swings them back to the Democrats? So either outcome is just voting for Democrats. It sort of sounds like that's what you're saying.
Yeah, I mean, that's what I've been saying. Like, that's the analogy of like the good guy, bad guy. It's all a facade.
Okay, sweet. So yeah, so this double bind exists. So either people feel comfortable voting Democrats, in which case, super trivially, Democrats are in power, or people vote Trump, and then people swing back the other way because they think, oh, look, Trump's really bad. So I would say that, like, in that system, let's imagine this pendulum, right, where either the pendulum's on the side of the Democrats or it's on the side of Trump, but we know this is just the process of it swinging back towards the Democrats. I would say that, like, in that system, right, and imagine, like, the context of this situation is all of the terrible things that are happening as a result of U.S. imperialism, et cetera, that in that system, we would have a reason, a good reason, to try to, I don't know, stir up the pendulum, maybe to put people who have the highest chance of breaking the system.
So how do you convince the people?
We don't need to convince anyone.
You need to convince the people, bub. Like, literally, the way that revolution works.
They're doing a decent job.
The way that revolution works, I know you're not, but I'm telling you, the way the revolution works is that it has to be the people fighting. And so even with you talking about like the inevitable collapse, that's why I keep saying it's death by 1,000 paper cuts, because as long as your approach continues to happen, people are going to keep reaching for hope. And as long as people keep reaching for hope, then they will pull it back a little bit. And then as long as they pull it back a little bit, then someone else is going to come and say, hey, hope is cool, but I got something better. I got change. I got progress. I got great shit. That's literally Barack Obama ran on hope. Literally, that was his slogan, hope, right? And in turn, Donald Trump came in and said, they're stealing your jobs. I'm going to close the borders, like build the wall. Like, he preached hate and progress for Americans, and they voted for Donald Trump. And then Donald Trump fucked everyone over and COVID ravaged the world. And people was like, oh, I don't like this orange man. Let's go back to the guy that fucked with Obama because we want Obama back. And Biden came in and fucking cleaned up shit, passed legislation, and people said, you know what? Things used to be better under Trump. And so they voted for Trump again. And now you're seeing You're seeing at the midterms, people are voting for the Democrats again. I'm telling you, it's a perpetual cycle unless you give people a reason to either not participate or a fucking plan.
I think you're right that it's an eternal cycle, but I think it's an eternal cycle that always gets closer and closer to collapse. I don't think it's one that stays stagnant. So again, like while people might go from Republican to Democrat, and we would say that acceleration happens less so under a Democrat, I think that the trajectory of history is always towards collapse, regardless of whether or not the candidate at a given time is progressing it as much as someone like Trump.
Death by 1,000 paper cuts.
Yeah,
us inching
up the paper cut.
Oh my God. Us inching towards collapse is not collapse. Us slowly inching towards collapse is not collapse. It's just prolonging. It's literally just prolonging the shit that we're already dealing with.
I don't understand, because your alternative is vote for Democrats who don't cause any paper cuts under your worldview. They just keep us where we're at. Like, if anything, you're just giving me reasons why it's difficult to make change, but you've given me no reasons why Trump isn't a better vehicle of change than the Dems.
What lens did I say I look at the world through?
I don't know what you're referring to.
I'm what? What did I say I am?
You said you're lots of things in this conversation.
No, I said I'm black as fuck. You keep saying this, like you sitting here saying this is fucking white privilege. It's white privilege. This is fucking white privilege. This is so entitled. It's fucking entitled. Like, again, I keep saying harm reduction. I don't want to see other people suffer. And you're like, yeah, let's just let them suffer. Yes, white man, sure, let them suffer. It's fucking white privilege. Fucking, we need to address white supremacy. Like, holy shit, this is entitlement.
Ooh, I don't know if voting for AOC and like supporting Western hegemony is like really fighting the good fight against.
Maddie, hegemony's nuts in your mouth. Hegemony's nuts in your mouth. We're going in fucking circles. This is why I don't talk to accelerationists, because none of them have a fucking plan. Like, they never have a plan. They never have a plan. That's why I fuck with Solid. Solid's got a plan. Only request up if you are a Trump supporter or disagree with anything on the background. We're only looking for some debates. Only request up if you're a Trump supporter or disagree with anything on the background. We're only looking for some debates. Keep tapping the screen, share the live. I don't think I have patience. I like, Hi, are you a Trump supporter or disagree with? Oh, this person isn't loading. Well, have you considered? Yes, Matthew. Holy shit, guys. I've seen all your donos, and I'm going to say thank you to all the wonderful people in just a moment. I just want to get someone up here so we can make sure we have a debate. I promise you I'm going to say thank you, because you guys have been going completely the fuck off. And if you want to be a part of those thank yous, if you appreciate the patience, or even like, you know, a little bit of entertainment on a Friday night, you know, Cash App, PayPal, Venmo. Pay links in the link tree in the bio. Show your boy some love. Hi, are you a Trump supporter or disagree with something on the background?
But I was just wondering, like, what would defunding the military do for, you know, us? Because then what would we do if we got into like a war? Or, you know, you get what I'm saying?
How old are you? Yeah.
You know what?
Yeah. I got a plan. I'll tell you that. You don't have to worry about that one. I do have a plan. for defunding the military. I got you. Hi, are you a Trump supporter or disagree with something on the background?
I am not a Trump supporter, and I just want to say I'm 19. I might sound young, but I'm 19. I hate Trump, actually, but the only thing that I wanted to come up to talk about was the remove men leaders. Yeah.
You disagree with it?
I don't necessarily I wouldn't say I necessarily fully disagree with it. Just do you mean remove all men leaders, or do you mean we need to focus on trying to get more women in office?
Combination. I mean, like removing the men leaders would necessitate getting women in office.
Yeah, I got what you're saying. So I watched a couple of your live streams. I actually joined up to ask the question a few nights ago, but you got off. Could you explain what you mean by it?
Wait, so do you disagree?
I don't know. That's why I joined. I'm just trying to figure out where you stand on it.
Okay, what's your premise? Why does the point of saying remove men leaders, why does that give you a cause for pause, and maybe we can make a decision whether there's a debate here or not?
So I guess where I stand, I would say that I think that a lot of men, like I said, I've seen a couple of your lives. I definitely agree that a lot of men leaders tend to be more aggressive and start a lot of wars. But I don't necessarily think that means that we should get rid of everybody or not consider them. I think it depends on who
okay, I do.
And whatnot.
Get them all out the paint. Okay, yep, we're locked in. I got you. Don't worry about it. Can I say thank you to? I'm really far behind. Can I say thank you to people, and then we'll get into it?
Yes, of course.
All right. W's in the chat for Andrew for the $1.99 super chat to say, Santana, got a couple more things to talk about. What are we going to talk about? Hit me, Drew. W's in the chat for Phoenix. Phoenix sent a $5 DNC payment. W's in the chat, Phoenix, who says, sorry, sending my DNC payment a bit late. It's all good. It's all good. W's in the chat for Virillion. Hey, Virillion, who sent a $5 Canadian, say, pointing out the problem without a plan is just wishful thinking and solving nothing. Right? Fucking right. That was in chat for Ian for the $10 donation, saying if you drink beer and want to support a DEIB belonging company. I work in New York, Belgium Brewing, and I can confirm it truly is the culture here. That's dope. I don't drink beer, but that's dope. W's in the chat for Tess for the $20 donation, saying hoping to cover my cancellation from earlier. The rest is towards a month of Costco membership, even though we're in Sam's Club family. Absolutely. W's in the chat for Tess. W's in the chat for Kyla for the $5 donation, saying I've over exceeded my donations, but allowed per day. But I had to say I hate fucking Phil Bros. I hate them too. W's in the chat for Grace for the $10 donation, saying thank you for your incredible work that you do. You've helped me discover I'm also a leftist. Actions speak louder than words, and do. W's in the chat for Joe for the $4 donation, saying you know who really doesn't care about this. The women and children unalive in Gaza and now in Iran because a bunch of privileged liberal arts kids couldn't read between the lines that Kamala would have been better for and more favorable than Palestine. Now we have Kushner and Woodcoff in Gaza real estate. Yep, that's fucking wild. That was in chat for Angel for the $5 dono, saying so he wants to set back and let everyone else do the revolutionary work. Yes, he just wants to watch the fucking flames. That was in chat for Caroline for the $10 donation, saying don't forget that among the Hope voters, there was also anger/desperation voters. It's a fine line. That's basically how it started in 1933 Germany. Hope is a powerful tool and wish, but anger and depression usually tends to win out. I'm still hopeful and willful. Yeah, again, Donald Trump. Barack Obama preached hope. Donald Trump preached fear. Both of them weaponized it. That was in chat for Corey for the $5 donation, saying why is it always these people who will be the most unaffected by harm that's willing to sit back and talk about it and oppress everyone else. So basically, he voted to harm everyone else so they can revolt for him. Yeah, that's what it was. W's in the chat for Bear for the $10 donation. I'm so done with these folks who want revolution based on hope and feelings. I'm going to scream. Love and peace, Bear. Love and peace to you too, Bear. W's in chat for Josh Johnson Tittle, who sent a $2 donation. Please ask this dweeb how he envisions his life to be in a society that collapse. Is he going to be unaffected? I put money on it. He don't know shit about like growing his own food, like purifying water, none of that shit. W's in the chat for Megan for the $3 donation. Excuse me, but we've been trying to reach you regarding your car's extended warranty. Have a good night. Have a good night yourself. And guys, W's in the chat for Michael for the $2 donation. What about the safety of minorities afterwards? Big fats. W's in chat for Lemur for the $10 donation. Said last caller was painful, very. W's in chat for Michael for $2. It all reminds me of a horror movies around white men. Yes. And W's in the chat for Ellie for the $18 donation. Saying love and the minimum age to join the live is 18. It absolutely is. W's in the chat. Guys, if anyone else likes to support the live, you can do so. Cash App, PayPal, Venmo, pay links and link in the bio. Santana speaks for you. If you're over on YouTube, you can send a super chat. I will read that out. Make sure you're tapping the screen, share the live. 1.2 thousand people hanging out. Make sure that you look up at the top, and if you see the word follow, you're not following me, hit that follow button. We are driving towards 100,000 followers, so we're almost at 95,000 followers. So make sure you hit that notification. Make sure you hit that follow button, turn on notifications. We're at like 18,700 over on YouTube. So make sure you not only thumbs up that YouTube video, but give me a follow over on YouTube so we can make it to 19,000. And we're so close to 1,000 followers on Twitch. Make sure you follow me there. All right, sorry. Tell me why you think that men should be considered and not completely removed from leadership.
I think it can go both ways for men and women. I think that I see us as equal. I do think, like you said, a lot of men have been detrimental, like really in a bad to society. But I think that like going into the future, who knows, 5, 10, 15 years, whatever, there could be people, men who aren't like that run. And I think that we should look at them as well. But like, I'm not saying that I don't think women should be in office, because like I voted for Kamala. So yeah, I think that men and women should both be able to be in office. But I do get where you're coming from. I just don't think it should be all men out of office.
Oh, it's all men until it's no men, right? Yeah. Hey, pick the bear, right? Am I right? Chat, am I right? Pick the bear. No. The premise of what I'm saying is it's not based off of like exiling men to the fucking ice wall for the end of time. It's literally that men overwhelmingly throughout the history of our country have guided us to the point of where we are today. So it's not a premise of like left versus right. It's like through the 250-year history of our country, about 90% of all politicians have been men, specifically white men. The splits today is 76% of people in Congress are men. And so my premise is like four whole election cycles, not 4 years, but eight years, because a president can serve for 2 terms. Just get them all up out the paint. Don't let them vote, and let the women run it, right? Because overwhelmingly women lead with emotional intelligence. They lead with kindness. They lead with thoughtfulness, and they are outside of a system that continues to perpetuate harm and violence. Men overwhelmingly lead with violence. That's how men feel like they have the monopoly on violence, so that's how they can keep control. And so women are shown to be less prone. I'm not saying that they're completely absolved, but like men are harmful and violent towards women, children, and men. So like my whole point is we've had a life and we've had a time period in our country where only white men that own land had the power. We had a time period where white men, period, had the power. We had a time period where men, period, had the power. And now we have a time where, the power is quote unquote equally distributed. Like, let's just roll that shit back a little bit. And I'm saying this as a man. Like, I'm saying that I'm taking away leadership from myself. Fine, cool. Let's let the women cook for a while.
Mm-hmm. No, I 100% get what you're saying. Yeah. I guess I just wanted to ask that. But I definitely agree. I think that we haven't really let any women have a chance. in office, so no one's to say how it would go. I think people make these horrible assumptions based that women are going to do this and that because they assume, oh, well, a girl gets her period, so she's all emotional, but women do handle their emotions better. I just wanted to ask you that question, but I get what you're saying 100%, and I agree.
Men are way more emotional. Do you know what the most fragile thing on earth is?
What is it, a man? Is that what you were going to say?
The male ego.
Oh, yeah, I agree. No, I wasn't saying that men aren't emotional.
No, and that's what I'm just saying. Like, no. I'm saying like the whole premise, because like these quote unquote alpha males love to say like women are so emotional. The reason why they couldn't vote for Kamala Harris is because, you know, women lead with emotion, but men literally don't go to therapy, don't know how to deal with their emotions, abuse substance, you know, abuse people, all this shit because, you know, they don't know how to emotionally regulate. Not they, me, we men don't know how to emotionally regulate. And yes, I'm talking about myself because I am a man and I have a fragile ego.
Yeah. Well, anyways, I'm sure there's a bunch of people who actually have bigger debates what they want to do for you. But I just want to say before I hop off that I watch your live and I watch Dean's lives and I watch Parker's lives and I watch a lot of lives. I'm in college and I'm just trying to better educate myself on these matters.
Absolutely.
And I just want to say that you guys do a great job of talking to people and to keep up the good work. And yeah, I really like watching your live streams. But that's
absolutely.
all.
Thank you. All right, have a good one. I'm gonna drop you down. Let's fucking asshat in the comments, as she said that I do a good job of talking to people. This asshat in the comments, Showtime 110 said, "Is your wife sitting in front of you? LOL. Nah, slap nuts. Get up here. I'm gonna put you in the cocaine clutch. Bam, muted. Get up here. Debate me on it, coward. Come up here and tell me why I'm wrong. You got such you real tough in the comments. Get up here. That's what I'm talking about.
Oh,
hey, alpha male.
Let me put my headphones on so you got.
Yeah, let's get it. Chat. That's literally the male ego. Like the male ego brought him up here.
No, I actually agree with you on everything except for defunding the military. I was just making a joke.
Oh, okay. All right. My bad. I took a swipe at you.
Nah, you're good. But can I talk about the military though? Because I was in the chat.
Yeah. Go ahead. Let me unmute you. All right, you got the floor. Why do you disagree with defunding the military?
Oh, the thing is like we've done so much as a country as far as getting involved in everything. Like we made a lot of enemies, right?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, let's just say we just get rid of the military completely, right? We're just vulnerable. I don't think we should just defund them. I think.
Oh, that's not what I'm saying.
We spend too much. Say it again. I'm sorry.
That's not what I'm saying.
I mean, the money that we're spending is. I think military is.
Wait, but did you hear what I said?
That's not what you're saying.
No, I didn't say get rid of the military.
Defunding, right? Just sending the money in other places instead of mainly to the military, right? We spend a lot of money on the military. It's annoying. But
not mainly. Like, okay, let me lay out my argument and maybe that'd help. My premise is that understanding the United States military budget, right? 1 trillion almost. Trump has talked about going up to 1.5 trillion. Comparing the United States military budget to the next 14 in the top 15, the United States, if you combine the next 14, the US still has the largest military budget.
Absolutely.
Right? And so even if you take the current budget, split it in half, it still has the largest budget by 300 billion, right? Now, the catch-22 is those 14 other countries, 11 of them are our allies and 1 is neutral, right? So that's 12. And so that's only 2 that's not, China and Russia, right? So the point that I'm getting across is that with reallocating those military funds, cutting the budget instead of continuing to increase it, because every president, no matter if it's a Republican or a Democrat, they feed into the military industrial complex. They feed it more and more and more. Cut the budget, reallocate the funds, focus on things that would benefit Americans, like universal health care, public option for schooling, guaranteed food programs, things like that, and then work on not only completely strengthening our allyships, but ensuring that we have like treaties that hold and things that will actually be able to withstand the test of time. The conflict that we're currently in right now, by the Trump administration with Iran has forced other countries like France to do some shit that they didn't even want to do, which now France is. Yeah, they're like France. Emmanuel Macron came out and said that France is restarting their nuclear program. They're making more nuclear missiles, and they're no longer going to be telling people how many nuclear missiles they have. Like, that's the type of shit the military industrial complex perpetuates. And so if we actually reallocate that, focus on foreign relations as far as building allyships, if we can do beneficial things in our society while still having a strong military and strengthening our actual alliances.
So let me ask, do you feel we need a military?
Say it again.
The amount of allies do you feel like we need a military with the amount of allies we do have?
Yeah, I think that like every country needs an actual ability to defend themselves. So absolutely, I think that it's more prudent to actually have like strong allyship, right? I mean, especially with like Mexico and Canada, right? I mean, we're a country that's surrounded by, or that has oceans on both sides, and then we haven't been at war with our neighbors to the north or south. So like fortifying our neighborship to the north and the south, along with the protections of those oceans, would do a whole lot. We don't need to continue to dump more and more and more into our military. And come on, like, if we're going to be honest, it's just a slush fund, right? You could talk about all the government contracts that are handed out within the military, the fact that like Elon Musk has gotten fat and happy off of it, through Starlink, through Neuralink, all this other bullshit. Like, all it does, like, if you take a look at the amount of government contracts that are handed out, and they're like for nothing. Kristi Noem was in front of Congress, and they talked about how Kristi Noem gave, I think it was a $200 million contract, something like this, gave out a contract and only looked at four companies. And the company that she awarded the contract to, DHS awarded the contract to, was a company that had been around for like 11 days prior to receiving the contract. Right. And it was, come to find out, the company, it was Soul something or Strategy something or some shit like that. Anyway, the company was connected to the friend of someone that used to work for her and her husband. And like, it was all the thing. He like paid for her ads back when she was, you know, a governor and all this other shit. Like, it's all tied in together. It's all a slush fund. So, but like, that's how like they do shit in the military. So that's my point.
Yeah, and reallocating the funds would make a lot more sense for America, especially. And I personally, I don't think we have much of a threat because of how strong our military is. But I mean, just for the sake of America, yeah, man, that trillions and trillions of dollars is just floating around over there. But
yeah, I mean, like, if we're gonna be honest, right, the whole premise of like the world is so small now, right? I mean, we live in a time where like you and I are sitting. What part of the country are you in right now? If you don't mind me asking.
I live in New York, Brooklyn.
You're literally on the opposite coast from me. I live in Washington State, right? But yet you and I are sitting here talking like we're sitting in the same room. Like there's an amazing person, Caroline, who is in the chat, and she's a part of our community. She hangs out with us all the time, and she's in Germany, right? And so like people from all across the country, all across the world now have this amount of access that like they never had before. And we're all connected. So that's what I'm trying to get across. 1 second. Hey, chat, I know people were saying that the guest has been sounding kind of low. I just turned the mic up some. It should be better, but let me know.
Do I sound low?
I just got management told me that apparently people were saying that you sound low. You sound super loud to me, so I just had to turn it up. So, I mean, I just had to turn it down.
Headphones on.
Yeah. They said that's
but
better.
Yeah, man,
okay.
I agree with. I basically agree with everything else, man. Like, this is the first time I'm actually seeing a panel that makes sense. No.
That's because I'm old. That's it. I'm old.
Nah,
I
hear you. No, I hear you, man. And even with like removing, men from like leadership, like I heard one of the guests before that was saying like, we don't really know what it would be like because we never had an opportunity to have a woman to be, you know, in office or just have any higher like political power. And we're just so concerned about, you know, menstrual cycles or emotions and all these things. And I think that it would really change like a lot of these situations that we're in, because the ego is a real thing. As a man, I can say, yes, it is a real thing. And I think when you have women involved, especially dealing with a man, you know, there's a certain level of respect that men typically show towards women. And when dealing with another man is, you know, no holds bar, it's just battle royale. It really doesn't matter. Winner's on top. But yeah, I do agree with everything you're saying.
Yeah, no, I agree. And my whole point is that, like, but if we're gonna call ourselves like the shining city on the hill, like Reagan said that we were, then we have to be the leaders in progression. And if we're not gonna actually do the things that push the world forward, then we can't pretend that we're like this, you know, beacon of hope. Like, either we got to pick a lane. Either we're gonna actually do the shit that we say we're about, or we're just gonna fuck off and stop saying it. Like, we can't do both. So that's all I'm saying.
Yeah, for sure, man. Well, I appreciate it, man. And
yeah, I appreciate you. No, all good. I unmuted you. You're good. I appreciate you coming up.
I appreciate it, man. I'll hit the follow too, brother.
I appreciate it. Listen, trying to get to 100K. Help a brother out.
I got you, bro.
All right, have a good one.
Yeah. All right.
Only request up if you're a Trump supporter or disagree with anything on the background. We're only looking for some debates. Chavez 85, I muted you. Get up here. I'm tired of hearing liberals cry, and I'm tired of fucking weak ass MAGA Trump supporters who don't know shit about fuck all, who just got all this. All you got. This is all you got right here. This is all you do. Right? That's all. Fuck out of here. W's in the chat for Drew for the $1.99 super chat. Said, get me on stage. Drew, all right, I'm gonna get you up here. You gotta wait though. W's in chat for Ellie for the $20. Ozzy to say for you to buy something nice for your wifey. Yeah, listen, after I get off live, I'm gonna see if I can take my wife to dinner. Trying to see what my wife trying to get into. W's in chat for Joel for the $5 donation saying, will you play Farm Sims with me? Fuck out of here, Joel. W's in the chat for Joel. W's in the chat for Megan for the $1 donation saying, it's super hard to hear the caller on YouTube. Just a heads up. Yeah, I just raised it, but like it got super loud in my ears, so I had to bring it down. I think it's because my volume was like so much higher and I was a little bit louder. I'm going to bring this down a little bit. That should be better. Like, it should be better overall. I adjusted the volume just a little bit. If anyone else would like to support the live, you can do so. Cash App, PayPal, Venmo, pay links, and link in the bio. Santana speaks for you. If you're over on YouTube, you can send a super chat, and I will read that out. Only request up if you're a Trump supporter or disagree with anything on the background. We're only looking for some debates. Also, guys, can we knock out the donuts? Please, 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 please. Can we knock out the donuts? Only request up if you're a Trump supporter or disagree with something on the background. We're only looking for some debates. Hey, Drew. Oh, you got a wicked echo. All right, I'm going to drop you back down. Someone said, Santana, how old are you? I am 39. I'm 39. All right, Drew.
Is that better?
Oh, yeah. I don't know what happened just now.
Yeah, I don't either, bro. I heard it for a second, and I was like, what the fuck?
Someone said you were Age of Ultron. You were.
I definitely sounded like I belonged in an Avengers movie. Okay.
Mm-hmm. What you got?
First off, I just, real quick, I want to say that you're not getting away with what happened this morning. You are going to hell. That is
ain't no way.
Guaranteed.
Oh, ain't no way. I'm absolved. I'm innocent.
And
absolutely not.
And I also wanted to ask that, because I may or may not have giggled myself. So I just hold on, listen before you cancel me. Just because I'm white, can you talk to Black Jesus for me and just get me some sort of credit, because I don't want to go to hell. Okay, I don't want to be canceled. All right, and I know there's a select crowd of us that were there this morning. So if you know, I guess is what we're gonna have to leave that at. But
listen, I don't know if I can talk to Jeebus for you. Like I don't know.
Listen, you can do, man. Please
listen. I'll talk to Mama Jones because Mama Jones does a lot of praying. If my grandma was still around, I might be able to help you, but I don't know. I don't know.
All right. The only thing I don't know if this is going to turn into a debate or not.
My wife said Black Jesus is ours. My wife is clocking you on the back end, just FYI.
All right. I was saying W management earlier. I might have to delete some messages. All right? Don't make another enemy, okay?
Yeah.
If anybody wants to know what happened, go watch the rerun on YouTube of what happened this morning.
I have no idea what they're talking about. I am innocent. You can talk about everybody else, but I'm innocent.
Yeah, Charlie Kirk happened. All right, that's all we talked about. But Santana, you tried not to laugh was the funniest shit I've ever seen in my life. Bro.
Nope. You know why? Because
go ahead.
people like to screen record and clip me. And so
yeah. No, I understand. Of course, you got to watch out these days. I get it, bro. I get it. But go watch the rerun, people, if you want to see it. It was really funny. But anyways, on a serious note, this might turn into a debate. It might not. That's why I got up here in the first place. What do you think about the Renee Good ICE shooting? What is your stance on that?
Oh, it was murder.
Okay, so you don't think it was justified?
No, they shot this lady in the face. Hey, do you know which bullet killed her?
No, I don't.
The third shot.
Okay.
And even more than that, the reason why I say it was murder is because the actual Department of Justice, and the determination that they make where you can use lethal force for someone driving a vehicle, he didn't meet the threshold for that. So even by the letter of the law for the Department of Justice, even with him actually letting off multiple shots where the third shot actually killed her, even with him actually walking towards her and shooting, all of those things add up to he literally killed this woman in cold blood in the middle of, and called her F and B as he walked off. So and they denied medical help to the lady while after it happened. So yeah,
this King Jeff guy needs to get in the box. But anyways,
you're wrong. No argument. Said, get up here, King Jeff.
Yeah, come on, man. But being real, so do you remember the first conversation we had? Obviously, I'm by my profile picture. Do you remember what profession I work in?
Yeah, I do.
Okay. So with that being said, I want you to step into my shoes for a second. When the incident first got announced, right? The only information I had was the video and the statement that got let out. I think Forbes and NBC, all the popular news networks put a statement out, right? So I read this, I say, blah, blah, blah. ICE protester attempted to run over an ICE agent with their vehicle. I watched the video. That's exactly what I see, right? And, my training and my time in the academy taught me, if somebody tries to run over you with a car, that's attempted assault with a deadly weapon that could lead to serious bodily harm or injury. So that puts me in a position as, a Leo that makes me say, okay, this person is a lethal threat to me, potentially, right? So that warrants lethal force. Now, reading into it and reading, actually watching the video and watching the dissections that were done, and like you said, the what's the word for it? Oh my goodness. Oh my God, I'm blanking so hard. The not the toxology report, but the
tacos.
Dude, I've watched so many episodes of House MD, and I can't think of the word for this.
Supernatural.
No, all right, never mind. Just leave
toxicology,
it.
The autopsy report.
The autopsy. Oh
the
my God, man! I do this every day, bro. Oh my goodness. Okay, you said tacos, bro. But yeah, after reading into that and seeing the research that got done about it, I was like, oh, okay, this wasn't as obviously justified as I thought it was. But I just wanted to hear your opinion on it and see if you stood with it or against it.
Yeah, no. So for me, the issue, not issue, but the point that I lean on heavily, and this is something I've said over and over and over. Those are trained professionals, or at least they're supposed to be, right? And so the burden for me is on the trained professionals, not the protesters, in any situation. And so while I understand means and measures of defending yourself, and even if there is a need to actually use lethal force, right? I get that. I think it should be a last line of defense, but if it's necessary, then it happens. But just like for me personally, when I sit up here every day and I, debate or talk to people who have opposite positions, and I hope for conversations that are going to be good conversations, but I have to prepare for people to come up and be overly racist, to be homophobic, to be homophobic and all this other stuff. And I can't respond with that type of energy every single time, because it's my responsibility as the host of this live to foster a community where at the very least we can get through some of these debates and these conversations and all this other stuff. And so the burden of like being better is on me, not necessarily the person that's coming up. And so it's the same premise for me as far as like law enforcement. You're trained professionals. This is your job. This is what you do. And you have to be able to expect and dissect and try to find reasonable outcomes. And if it has to end in taking a life, then that's the last measure. But just in that situation, that wasn't the last measure.
Of course. And I hope you don't mind if I interject real quick. I just want to say that, I just want to make sure that you understand my full statement. The information I was given in the beginning.
Yeah, right, I get you.
Okay. As long as you understand, I just want you to know.
No, and like one thing that I always say, and especially like it's personal for you, right? Because like this is what you do.
Absolutely.
Right.
Bro.
And so like I'm not gonna fault you for seeing something like I'll say this. Like after Charlie Kirk got killed, one thing that kind of like, even though I don't fuck with Charlie Kirk, right, at all, the first thing that I thought, the first thing that I thought is like, this is opening up a dangerous door, right? Because while I might not be the biggest person to do this or whatever, I have a lot of friends that are in those same type of spots. And like literally, one of my best friends, Parker, he was there. And that puts a target on everyone's back that's doing that. So it becomes personal. So I understand the whole premise of being personal. But again, the biggest thing that I always say is like one of the best qualities I think someone can have is being willing to change their mind when they get new information. And if you can't change your mind once you have new information, then you're fucked. But if you can actually take in new information and then process it and then say, you know what, this is what I thought, but I learned this. And so now this is what I think, like I can rock with that.
Yeah, of course. And I feel like, if all these people that were coming up and debated you shared the same mindset, it would be a lot different. And there wouldn't be as much, what'd you call it earlier? Loud racism and whatever you said.
Well, most people that come up to debate, though, they're not coming up because like they're, trying to engage in any type of thought process. It's the most of the time they come up because they want to stand on what they believe. Like I triggered them and they want to get up here. That's like the only reason
like
they come
what
up.
they've been taught, what they've been told, right?
Yeah,
because I think sorry, go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say you're challenging their comfort, and when you remove someone's right to comfort, they lash out.
Of course, trust me, I know, I know. But I will say, if you would have asked me, say, a week ago, right? I think our last conversation was about a week ago. Yeah. Mm-hmm. I think if you would have asked me, or if you would have popped up this live for me and I would have seen something that, DEI everything before you taught me that it was just a dog whistle and not actually some,
I would have got
something
you
serious. Of course, no, you did, bro. You did. I came up here thinking I was hot shit trying to debate you. And then, I've sat in here every day for like the last 4 or 5 days and I've been like, damn. I'm telling you, bro, I love it. I think I'm on the spectrum because there is a part of me that loves learning so much. It's almost
you don't want to self-diagnose. That's dangerous. But yeah, I get what you're saying.
Listen,
like I get
but
what
you
you're
know what
saying.
I mean, though. Like there is some part of me that just like every time I hop in here and you're debating somebody and like speaking things that make sense and challenge what I've always believed, it's so interesting to me because it's like, hey, that's not what my dad and my granddad taught me. But hell, it kind of makes sense. Let me Google this. And then I Google it and I'm like, damn, he was right. And,
I mean,
it's that in a giant circle and it's just awesome. I love it.
Yeah. I mean, like having, who was it? Peach, I don't know if you know Peach, but Peach once said, she said this is something that I heard her say this like maybe a month or two ago. And she like, it stuck with me. When she said it, she said, and I'm going to butcher how she said it, but she said, or not she, I'm sorry, they, holy smokes, I'm sorry, Peach, if you're listening, Peach was like, admitting that you don't know something is freeing, because then it gives you the ability to go learn the thing that you don't know. And I think that like us admitting, especially us men, right? We're so prideful and we're so like, oh, I know and I can
The
do it.
ego
Like,
thing is real, man.
yeah. Like once you start to admit that like you don't know everything or like you can learn or you can grow, like man, shit opens up. So
yeah, and you got to think too. That's a big part of being a Leo is like ego and you're not tough when that badge comes off, and it's this part of you that's like, you know what I mean?
I have friends that are,
you just got to control it. You really got to control it.
Yeah, I mean, I have friends that are a part of that, and so I know and I understand, and like so I get it.
And it's come as a curve for me too, because I'm very, very young. I'm one of the youngest people ever in my department.
But that's a good thing. Like like young people, this is why I put so much time, energy, and effort when like I talk to young people. It's because you guys have the ability to change the world, and like I'm counting on you to fucking change the world because I'm old, right? I'm almost 40. Like I'm counting on the young people to do the shit, and like revolution has always been led by young people. So
yeah. All right. Well, about to go to bed, drink some rum, a couple Millers. But before I do,
have you ever tried Uncle Nearest?
No, I haven't.
You need to get you a bottle.
Okay.
It'll change your life.
Dark or light?
Dark.
Oh, I don't know, man.
When I tell you it is the best thing I've ever had in my life. What's funny is when Dean turned 21, I sent him like a premium bottle for his birthday. And when I tell you, he called me like nonstop, like this is the best thing I've ever had. And when I tell you, he said he was rationing out the actual, it's a whiskey. He said he was rationing it out because it was so good. I'm telling you, it'll change your life. Uncle Nearest is.
Yeah. Hey, Ratkinson, when I get down from here, come up here and tell Santana why Trump is king. I would love to hear it myself.
Yeah. Look, he said Dean's he's a troll. So
Dean is a troll.
No, the Ratkinson. Don't talk about my little brother like that. Hold on now. Wait a minute.
All right, hold on. Listen. Before I head out of here, I just want to say a couple things. One, go Vols. All right, fuck South Carolina, not the state, just the football team. Okay. Let's see.
Ain't no way. Not the Gamecocks. If you were talking about Clemson, I would have let you go off, but you're not going to talk about the Gamecocks. If you would have said Clemson, I would have let you have that, but you're not going to talk about the Gamecocks. Ain't no way. Ain't no way. Ain't no way you're going to sit here and talk about the Gamecocks. Also, for people saying, specifically for you, saying that Leo is not, we're not talking about astrology. We're talking about law enforcement, not astrology. And you say, pardon me, this guy, Leo's are more like mall security. Who's Leo? Can't pronounce stock sign. Why is the people that I love and care for like constantly choose violence? Like why is it the people that I love and care about so much at every opportunity they choose violence? I promise you every single whatever, you can't fight. Nobody's scared of you. Like no one's scared of you. You can't fight. Whatever. W's in the chat for Rust Belt, who sent a $2 super chat, say, don't make me start telling Charlie Kirk jokes. You better not. We're not doing that. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. W's in the chat for Junior for the $1 donation, saying Santana, the white man whisperer. Listen. I grew up around a lot of white people. Like I get white people. Yeah, I understand them. Like I've been in a position where I've been the only black person in the room a lot. Like a lot. So I get it. W's in the chat for Taylor. Holy shit. Taylor sent a $30 donation. Taylor said, finally got paid so I can pay you. Thank you for all that you do and for making my days brighter. You inspire me. Love, Tay. Love you too, Tay. Thank you so much. I mean, your kindness is wild, and I appreciate you so much. I truly mean that. W's in the chat. Thank you. You're fucking awesome. Yeah, someone just sent me. Okay, let's talk about this really quick. So someone just sent me, said, hey, Santana, your YouTube, like the thing is off. Okay, let's talk about this for a moment. I'm gonna show you guys something because I want you guys to know, like, it's not me. It's not me. Mm-hmm. Solid said advertise the podcast. It's Solid, you get up here and do it. You come and advertise the podcast. Where's Solid at? Oh, he didn't say it. You said just to, oh yeah. No, you do it.
Oh, this joint is good. You hear you?
Oh, I can't wait. Like, no lie, that's gonna be good. I can't wait.
Boy, this joint is good. I'm sitting here putting the final touches on it, and this, man.
I
wasn't
legitimately
expecting to be
cannot
done
wait to
until
hear
Sunday, but yeah,
it. Can I, like, are you gonna slide me a sneak peek or whatever?
of course.
All right.
Of course. What I think, how? I don't know how. Oh, you know what I'll do?
What's
I'll
that?
do it unlisted on the Ubers Tubers.
Oh, okay. Okay, tell the people what we're talking about.
Hey, guys, gals, and non-binary pals. Santana and Jeff from End of a Species and I decided to sit around and run our yaps on Saturday, and it was the best conversation I've had in so long.
Oh,
It was
so good.
it was natural. It felt good. Let me tell you. So it's an episode of the podcast. Okay, it's the episode of the 4TP podcast. But man, I want to make this a thing. but
Listen,
but this is good.
The thing that people need to know is, like, after we finish recording, we sat and talked for like 30 minutes more. Like, we talked for like 15 minutes before we started. And we recorded for like an hour and a half, and then just sat and talked for 30 minutes after that.
Yeah, it was good.
Yeah,
it was good. What we did. Well, I don't want to talk too much about the topic. And you know what the best part about it is? Even though there was a topic, there was a point of focus.
Mm-hmm.
Even when we went off the rails, like even when we weren't speaking directly about the topic, we were always able to come back to the topic. We were always, and you didn't mind the detours. You don't mind the detours.
Yep.
Because it's just like, it's interesting conversation. And if you want to know more about Santana,
I don't know if they want to know more about me. That sounds like a setup. That sounds like a setup.
He's even when he's being candid, he's a stand-up guy. So except for that part where he talked about kicking that baby seal. I was like,
listen, sometimes you gotta club them. Sometimes you gotta bring the club out, and like, that's not on me. So I don't know what you want me to do with that one.
Yeah, well, yeah. If the seal is being a jackass, I mean, what else are you gonna do?
Yeah. Pretty much.
So, yeah, I'm just excited for it. I texted Jeff, seen you live, and I was like, yo, I gotta tell you, like, this is gonna turn out really well. So I tell you what I'm gonna do. I'm about a half an hour from finishing up. I'll go ahead. I'll put it on unlisted. I'll send you the link, let you watch through it. Any notes you have, anything you want to put in, anything you want to take out, whatever, just let me know. And
okay.
Get it rocking before noon Eastern time, 12 p.m. Eastern time, Monday.
I honestly can't wait. It was really good. I'm really excited to see how it comes together.
Same. All right, brother. Let me let you rock.
All right, I appreciate you, bro. All right, guys, I'm gonna show you this. All right, so this is what I need you guys to see, right? This is what I need you to see. I'm gonna put this on the screen. All right. So for people saying like, hey, you know, your shit's crooked. All right, I want to show you this. This is what the screen looks like, right? This is what the screen looks like. Hold on, let me turn this off. This is what it looks like from people who are up on the panel, right? That's what it looks like for people that are up on the panel. This is what it looks like. A second here. This is what it looks like from the Android device that I have. Right? And this is what it looks like from the iPhone that's not up on the panel. Okay? So for everyone saying, hey, your thing is crooked, it's not, I'm telling you, it's your device. It's literally your device. It's not me, it's you. Chat, it's not me, it's you. Yes, it's iPhone slander. Absolutely, it's iPhone slander. Because the one that was in the middle with no issues was an Android. So I just want to let you guys know, chat, it wasn't me. It's not me. It's you. Just so everyone knows, I'm not the problem. Yes, I will talk about iPhones like that. Yeah, it's literally the different phones. It depends on the look. Yeah. That's I always try to move it around. You talking about your iPhone is okay. Do a poll. Who has an no, if you want to put a poll in you put a poll up, Android versus iPhone. I don't care about that. No, absolutely not. W's in the chat for Ash for the $2 donation said, let's stop trusting white folks. God damn, Ash. W's in the chat for Andrew for the $1.99 cent super chat to say counting or not counting gang violence, Santana. Listen, stop it. You know what you're doing. All right, listen. I know there's more people who want to debate and all this other stuff, but I promised my mod 2 hours. Hold on. Let me see. Yep. See? Look, it's not even me. It's not even me. Hold on for a second. Look at this. Look at this shit. Hold on. Look at this shit. Boom. Look at this. Would you look at this? Look at this. Somebody come look at this. Hold on. Boom. 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 Turn that on. Look at that. So that came from Kay and her iPhone. So I'm telling you, I mean, not her iPhone. Sorry, she doesn't have iPhone. Android. That's from her Android. I'm telling you, it's not me. It's not me. It's you. You chat. You guys are the problem. All of you are the problem, not me. I'm almost perfect. So nobody else but you. No, I'm almost literally. I'm almost perfect. Some would say I even walk on water. So, like, I don't know what to tell you. I don't even know what to. I don't know what to tell you. My wife says she tired of the iPhone slander. Well, that's too damn bad. All right, guys. Yeah, I tell move on. Yeah, no, whatever. We're getting out of here. Yeah, I promise. I ain't no W management. Don't W her. Whatever. We're getting out of here. I said 2 hours. I told my mods 2 hours. That was all we were gonna do. I had a little bit of time. 2 hours. I'm gonna go see if my wife wants to go have steak with me. See if my wife will have dinner with me. We're gonna get out of here, guys. Let's see here. Boom. Let's go.
You stepped in a box. Now you're in the ring. Ain't no hugs here. You better take your best swing. Mike Hot, who wanna step in the flame? This ain't a debate, this a mind game. Facts like lies, get left in chain. One wrong word, you slapped out your name. This ain't TikTok T, this a war zone talk. No script, no filter, no safe walk. Bring stats and get scrambled like a glitch. I got fire in my mouth like I came from the pit.
Hey. W's in the chat for the chat. W's in the chat for the chat, guys. This was just a quick random 2 hour live, and it was a lot of fun. I think it was super beneficial overall. It was good. It was good. It was good. We had a lot of fun. Medium rare for shiggity. Fucking love steak. I'm gonna get out of here, but we'll be back in the morning. Depending on how the rest of the night goes, you guys might see me around this TikTok streets. Make sure you hit that follow button before you go, though. We're trying to get to 100,000 followers. We got 68 followers on the stream. Listen, if you don't hit the follow button, you may never see me again, ever. Like never, ever, ever. And I like seeing you. Can we see each other again later? Please hit that follow button. Subscribe over on YouTube and follow me on Twitch. I love you guys. I love you. I will see you guys tomorrow. Thank you for all the gifts, the taps, the likes, the shares. Thank you. Uncle Nearest is the whiskey. Uncle Nearest. I love you all. And as always, peace.